That's right, viewers, it's time once again for you to be gathered up into my big geeky embrace as I take you on another magical journey through the world of gaming. My name is Ian Higton, and I've collected together my favourite Platform 32 segments from the past month and stuck them together to create the 5th P32 gaming special. Those people at TV News might think it's funny taking the mick out of my pale complexion, my aversion to the outdoors, and my general lack of social skills, but the more of these I produce, the higher the chances are of me taking over the channel forever and broadcasting nothing but shows about games. Anyway, on today's show, one of the PlayStation's biggest console exclusives, Killzone 3, gets taken down to Higtown as I put it through its paces in my sci-fi fantastic review. I make something tiny produce something mahoosive when I get my grubby little mitts on a Pico Genie M100 LED palm projector and test it to see how well it works as a gaming accessory. But first, do you have kids? Do you live in fear of them using your brand new 3-piece suite as a canvas for an aggressive finger painting session? Then this man might have something that will interest you. But who is he?
Hi, I'm Wayne Cline, Project Manager for the uDraw GameTablet and the software, and you're watching Platform32.
Console-based art packages have always been few and far between. Mario Paint on the SNES is probably the best known and most well received of the bunch, but since then nothing has really appeared to challenge its rule. Until now. THQ have just released their uDraw GameTablet in the UK, and Platform32 attended the launch event where we were given the chance to try out the tablet and its games and also watch Corky Paul, illustrator of the popular kids book series Winnie the Witch, show off his artistic skills by putting uDraw Studio through its paces. During all this artsy action, I found time to grab an interview with the project manager behind the development of the uDraw GameTablet, Wayne Cline. Hey, you Wayne, can you tell me all you know about the uDraw GameTablet?
So this is the uDraw GameTablet. It works with the Wii. As you can see, it docks with the Wii remote, so we're able to take advantage of the motion sensors and the buttons on the Wii remote. And it basically gives you a new kind of gaming experience on the Wii that lets people draw and create their own works of art, and also gaming with the motion control, so we could do all sorts of different things with the uDraw and the various games that we're doing.
Sounds great. What launch titles will be available for us to art attack?
We have uDraw Studio, which is a drawing game that allows people to draw, and we've also got a lot of coloring book pages in there for artists that need some inspiration. That will come bundled with the tablet itself. We also have Pictionary, as I mentioned, which is a family fun night game that allows the whole family to gather in the living room. And there's no limits on the number of players. It can be up to 4 teams of as many players as you want. And then finally we have Dude's Big Adventure, which is more of a platformer, almost a Sonic Mario-esque type game, but allows a lot of room for customization and players to just draw what they want.
The Wii is generally seen as a family-friendly console, but the launch games, and Dude's Big Adventure especially, seem targeted towards kids. Who would you say the GameTablet is aimed at?
Really everybody. I mean, honestly, for anybody with an artistic bone in their body, or even those that don't have an artistic bone in their body, that just sort of want to express themselves and create amazing images with our uDraw Studio game. And then we've also got Pictionary for the entire family. So everybody loves the game of Pictionary, and this allows a way to play on the Wii without scads of paper all over or pencils strewn about the house. And then we've also got a very sort of gamer game called Dude's Big Adventure, which is a platform game, but it allows you to customize a lot of the different elements of the game to sort of express yourself and almost play a level with things that you've actually created in that level.
He's not wrong. Dudes has an amazing amount of customization opportunities. Look, here's me painting the dude a lovely shade of P32 purple and adding some crude detail. Once this is done, you can control your original creation in the game, and he even gets placed in the opening cutscene. It's not only the dude that can be customized though, you can also decorate your enemies and certain set pieces from the levels like the balloonimals which float around in the background. Stay where you are, viewers. We'll be back with Wayne Cline in a few minutes' time.
Oi, you! Get over here! I'm an Elgan, don't you know? And I'm a thoroughly nasty piece of work. Now listen here, this is Platform32's review of Killzone 3. So, if you know what's good for you, you'll get a move on. I don't want to hurt you. Go on, up the apples and pears. Go get me a Ruby Murray before it all goes Pete Tong. God bless you, Mary Poppins, Governor.
That's right, those lovable Mockney-Cockney space Nazis, the Hellgast, are back, and they are once again trying to destroy peace and freedom the only way a bunch of super video game space Nazis can. Yep, you guessed it, with gigantic guns, massive robots, and violent explodey thingies. These guys are super evil, and just in case you've forgotten how super evil they actually are, the intro cutscenes do everything they can to make sure you remember, throwing as much non-stop Nazi-esque imagery smack bang into your face pipes as is humanly possible in an intro movie. Standing in their way are the heroic ISA troops, led once again by Sev, your character from Killzone Part 2, who, in the 2 years between games, still hasn't really developed any sort of personality. Both Sev and his rebellious partner in crime Rico are still little more than the basic action hero stereotypes that you will find in any military-based game. But just as I was about to switch my brain off, I got slapped in the face by a gigantic WoW hand. Where the campaign in the second game was a greyish slog through unending waves of the same enemy, Killzone 3 adds colour, awesome set pieces, and a whole load of variety to your bust-ups. Throughout your future jaunt, you will find yourself piloting huge war robots, manning the guns on dropships and tanks, and even taking to the sky in stolen Hellgast jetpacks. The variations to the levels make the whole game flow so much better than its predecessor. You actually feel like you are taking part in a story with many cool, exciting chapters now, and because of this there were many points in the game where I was having so much fun I actually didn't want the section to end. Killzone 3's controls are much tighter this time around. The developers have banished the wading through porridge movement of your character from the second game in favour of much smoother, faster and more fluid controls. This isn't the only change made with the controls though. Killzone 3 is fully Move compatible, and throughout my play I swapped between using Move and the joypad to test out how well it played. To my surprise, the Move controls worked amazingly well. It took a little while to get used to, but compared to the clumsy FPS Move sections on Time Crisis Raising Storm, this felt intuitive and, well, right. Especially when piloting a huge mech or firing a mounted machine gun. At these points the controller actually added to the experience and made it much more absorbing. Don't turn off your telly, viewers, otherwise you're hell gonna miss out on part 2 of my Killzone 3 review. Ooh, that would be nasty. Oh, yep, it sure would me, and I don't like to see people suffer, so make sure you're sat back down in your chair as soon as the break ends, or you will miss out on more London-born space baddies, another slice of Wayne Cline and his amazing uDraw GameTablet, and also a low-cost solution for anyone who has ever wanted to play their games on a screen the size of a house. Well, not the size of a house, but, you know, big. Like 100 inches big, and that's like double the size of my telly, because, well, actually it's probably more than double the Howdy folks, I hope you had a nice ad break. I did. I made a cup of tea and got myself a chocky bicky. Nom, 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 nom. Coming up, it's the conclusion of my uDraw feature and the end of my Killzone 3 review. But first, did I ever tell you about the time I tried to summon a genie by rubbing one of my nan's lamps? It didn't work at all. Nothing came out no matter how hard I rubbed. And after 5 minutes of furious polishing, I ended up snapping the handle off by accident. Ooh, I got a right knackering for that. I was banned from watching Bernard and the Genie, and it stopped me from believing in magic. Until now, because I finally managed to get my hands on a real genie. Now, it didn't grant me 3 wishes, but it did magically transform my gaming experience. Want to know what the freak I'm talking about? Then take a look at this.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
Betterer.
Awesome. Alright.
That's right, viewers. When it comes to gaming, bigger is always better. So when Personal Projector sent me one of their Pico Genie M100 LED palm projectors to try out, I couldn't wait to hook it up to a console and get my gigantic gaming on. Most projectors on the market are huge, but the makers of the Pico Genie were not lying when they called it a palm projector. This thing is tiny. It's a really cute little piece of kit, great looking, and thanks to its tiny proportions and the included mini tripod, it really is a doddle to set up and can be transported easily, so it's great for taking to parties or events for some on-the-fly projectory fun times. The projector comes with a variety of inputs and can play media from SD cards and USB sticks, but we're only going to worry about the HDMI input here because I want to find out how good the Pico Genie is as a gaming accessory. Connect a HDMI cable from your Xbox or PS3, HDMI cable not included, and the Pico Genie will shine your favourite games onto your wall in up to 1080p resolution. And I have to say, it looks awesome. The colours are brilliantly vivid and sharp as you like. It looks amazing in a darkened room, but because it's so bright it will even work well when there is a low light present. So after spending some quality gaming time with the Pico Genie, how does it handle? Well, as an all-round projector, I'm really impressed by the little guy. If you have 5 meters worth of space in your house and a nice white wall, this little beauty will project a 100-inch image onto your wall without losing any of its picture quality, and thanks to its small size, it's actually a lot more practical and cheaper than buying a 100-inch HD TV.
Well, this all sounds amazing, but there's got to be some bad points, right?
That's right, me, there sure are. Don't go anywhere, I'll be projecting the second part of this Pico Genie review into your brain later on in the show. Welcome back to part 2 of our uDraw feature. The uDraw GameTablet definitely sounds like a great entertainment peripheral, but will it actually be able to help children grow and develop as artists?
Absolutely, I think it definitely can help that. One of the great comments we heard early on was how the old art culture and art learning culture is sort of lessened a little bit, and a really great compliment we were given was that this could actually help bring that back to children, because it does sort of allow that, gives them the platform to expand their imagination and draw. And some of the early usability tests that we did, parents were just thrilled because they thought it would encourage their kids and sort of teach them without sort of hitting them over the head with it. So it's just a great environment to just sort of express your creativity and create amazing things.
When I was 5, my brother dropped a chair on my Millennium Falcon and snapped the radar dish clean off the top of the ship. I'm still bitter about it today, so bearing in mind how rough kids can be when they play, how sturdy is the uDraw GameTablet? Will it be able to stand up to lots of punishment?
Absolutely, it's actually very sturdy. The unit itself has honeycombing inside of it to give it more sturdiness when being pressed down on. We actually had one of our producers, one of our lighter producers, stand on it and jump on it, and it held up quite well. And I also at one point asked a 10-year-old girl to try to break it by pulling the cord apart, and she wasn't able to do it. So it actually is very sturdy and should stand up pretty well to the normal abuses that toys take.
When no one was looking, I tried out that very same test on the uDraw unit. After 5 minutes of furious tugging, that stylus just wasn't going anywhere. This either means it's built really well, or I have the strength of a 10-year-old girl. Probably a bit of both. Now, the uDraw GameTablet was actually released in the States last November. How well has it been received?
Yeah, we launched in the United States on November 16th, and we actually sold over 1 million units pre-Christmas. So it's been received very well. It's gotten very positive press for being very innovative and, again, sort of giving that creative outlet to players. And it's been a really great pleasure to have worked on and really done well and gotten really good feedback.
Thanks, Wayne. With recent statistics suggesting that parents in 56% of UK households don't allow their children to draw at home for fear of mess and furniture damage, the uDraw GameTablet is a great way to enable kids to get creative in their own homes without the lingering fear that at some point they will try and colour in that lovely cream carpet with a permanent marker pen. That's great news for house-proud parents, and even better news for kids who want to get creative and share their works of art with their family and friends, while at the same time playing some fun and innovative games, and for that, I give THQ's uDraw GameTablet a double thumbs up. Yeah! You know what? With the drawing skills I just displayed there, I wouldn't be surprised if I get a call any minute now from the Tate Modern asking me to submit some artwork. While I'm waiting for the phone call that will change my life, and of course the world of art, here's a lovely little commercial break. Stay seated though, it'll be over soon, and I'll be back with more Killzone 3 and more gigantic gaming. Hi, I'm in a bad mood. Still no call from the Tate Modern, and I just blew £50 on a set of watercolours and an easel. I hope I didn't just waste my cash. You see, it's mine and my girlfriend's anniversary in 2 days, and I just spent her present money. Uh-oh! Listen, you guys go check out my verdict on Killzone 3 and see how the Pico Genie stood up to my rigorous tests in the final part of my gadget review, while I have a dig down the side of the sofa and see if I can scrounge up enough cash to get her a chocolate orange or something. Welcome back to part 2 of my Killzone 3 review. The graphics in the campaign are simply amazing, and without a doubt some of the best I've ever seen on a console. There is really great attention to detail, plus it's nice to see that even in the future, on an alien planet, they still have toilets and velvety soft toilet roll. Ooh, soft. Stepping out of a door and into the middle of a frantic firefight in Killzone 3 is as close as you will get to actually being there in a current FPS. The sounds of bullets whizzing past, the distant screams, the dust, the changes in lighting, it all goes towards creating one of the most believable battle zones I have ever had the pleasure to go to war in. Sure, it's set on a distant futuristic planet, but even FPS games set in the present, like COD Blops, still have an air of unreality to them. Here, I can almost smell the gun smoke in the air and feel the heat from the nearby explosions. The campaign will last you about 6 to 8 hours max if you play through on normal, so it's a good job there is an excellent multiplayer portion added on also. Consisting of 3 multiplayer modes: Warzone, a random mix of game types which veterans from the second game will be familiar with, Guerrilla Warfare, which is a fancy name for Team Deathmatch, and then my favourite of the bunch, Operations mode. This is a kind of mix between an online co-op campaign and the Warzone mode, and it features small storylines with different objectives to complete. Personally, I love the way the best players in the matches are featured heavily in the cutscenes which pop up between each objective. Oh look, there's me! Look, Higtown32! Oh yeah, shoot him! Woo! Yeah! There I go!
Congratulations, man.
The Soldier class system is back, and there are 5 to choose from, including the Engineer who can construct turrets and repair ammo crates, and the Tactician who can capture strategic spawn points around the battlefield. Each has different abilities which can be unlocked over time, so finding which character suits you best and sticking with them means you will soon have a fully kitted out Super Soldier to play with. If this sounds awesome but you lack the necessary wires to go all internety, you could always try out the online action in Bot Zone, which replaces your human foes with AI enemies. Killzone 3 is the very definition of a must-buy game. It's big budget, visually stunning, and best of all, great fun. Sure, it's not very original, but rather than completely reinventing the franchise, Killzone 3 instead improves on the faults of its predecessor, and by doing so creates a much smoother ride and a far more enjoyable experience. So hell go and hell grab yourself a copy now before they all sell out, because that would be hell ghastly.
Oi, you! What are you still doing here? This review's over. Go on, sling your hook. Jump in an Andy McNabb and get the hell out of here. Make sure you don't have a pie and mash though, or there's gonna be one hell of a Barney Rubble, don't you know? Hogwarts, tea and scones.
Welcome back to the second part of my Pico Genie gadget review. For a start, the cooling fan kicks out one hell of a racket, and the tinny onboard speakers are just no match for the constant whirring a device creates. Here, listen for yourselves. To get some proper sounds out of this bad boy, you will definitely need to hook it up to separate speakers, which will reduce its portability slightly, but that's no problem if you're planning to use it as a permanent fixture to your gaming setup rather than transporting it all over the shop. My main gripe with the unit though is with the display size itself. In the manual it says, and I quote, "If input signal is 16:9, the projector will automatically adjust to widescreen display, which will downsize the image to 75%. Now, losing a quarter of the screen size in itself is slightly annoying, but that's not the real issue I have here. The fact is, and believe me, I've fiddled around with the settings for hours trying to figure out a solution, but for some reason, the projector does not register 16:9 signals from the Xbox or the PS3, and instead displays them both in 4:3. This even happens when you play Blu-rays. It swaps to widescreen display fine if you're watching a widescreen film from a USB stick, but on the consoles, nope. Very weird and slightly annoying. I did manage to figure out a workaround for the Xbox though, by going to System Settings, Console Settings, Display, and then HD TV settings, and then setting the resolution to 1024 by 768, you can choose to set your screen format to normal. This effectively tells your Xbox that you are using a rubbishy 4:3 TV, so then it will widescreenify your game for you on the projector's behalf. No matter how much fiddling I did with my PS3 though, I could not replicate what I had done on the Xbox, so if anyone has any idea how to do that, please let me know. My final thoughts on the Pico Genie are very positive. I think it's a great piece of kit, especially if you're not solely using it for gaming and intend to use it on the go. And if you can handle playing your PS3 in squishy vision, or if you don't mind fiddling with your Xbox settings to sort out the aspect ratio, it makes a really cool addition to your gaming setup. You can get your own Pico Genie M100 projector now at www.personalprojector.co.uk by projecting £375 of your own money into their bank account, and it comes highly recommended over the bulkier, more expensive HD projectors on the market. Okay friends, that's all from me once more. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves as much as I have, and I'll be back very soon with more gaming segments on TV news and, fingers crossed, even more half-hour specials like this one. If understandably you can't get enough of all this gorgeous gaming content though, feel free to stop off at the P32 website at www.platform32.com. Righty-ho, all that's left for me to do now is hand you over to the lovely guys at TV News who will be bringing you this week's competition. Good luck and happy gaming!